Welcome to Dynamo Dynamics, winning goals to digital dominance, where we take you through this unique fusion of our soccer passion and technology innovation. With me, as always, is my guy, Kai Peterson. And Kai, well, we were hopeful, right? We had a Texas Derby, and we were looking forward to the Dynamo getting back to winning ways. Unfortunately, didn't look like that happened. But besides that, how are you doing today?
I'm great. I'm ready to dive into the Dynamo game. Like you said, it wasn't the outcome we wanted, but we did give up a red card in the 5th minute very early on. So when you're playing basically a full game with one man down, it's very hard to come away with the victory. But we did show signs of control, I'd say. Maybe not attacking, but I think we played decently well for the circumstances.
Well, if you're looking at we put out a pretty strong lineup from a Dynamo perspective, and a solid. Our defense has been solid all season long, and we were looking forward to continuing that and maybe adding a little more offense to the mix. But a disaster at 5 minutes, and with the red card. And on the back foot for the rest of the match. But as you said, the defense held pretty solid, and I think the stats basically bear that out. With one very, very notable exception, the amount of shots on it, 25 for Dallas to 2 for the Dynamo, that basically tells the tale of the game and tells the tale of the red card. However, 56% possession to 44, Dallas to Houston, and the fouls were coming thick and heavy this game, 21 for Dallas, 10 for Houston. Yellow cards, basically even 3-2. That red card is the glaring stat that basically decided the game. But besides that, the shots, 25 shots. So our guy Clark was very, very busy on the night. 5 of those shots were on target. 2 of them obviously went in. The first, not until the 55th minute, as you said. So the defense was solid after having a man sent off. But ultimately, when the goal came, it was a very well worked move by Dallas and put us on even more on the back foot after going down 1-0.
Yeah, I mean, after that first red card, if you saw the free kick right after, that one hit the post. And that was a good free kick. And once I saw that, I was like, we're going to definitely give one up. It's just going to happen. We're a man down. But like you said, even going into halftime, 0-0, drawed, that's fine. Just giving up that first goal was, I just got to give it to Dallas. That was a really beautiful goal, honestly. They very well worked, good build up. That they showed good teamwork there, just attacking that. And then, we didn't give up our second goal till the 80th minute, right? Yeah, and it wasn't too. It really they had a lot of shots on target. You're right. Clark was working overtime. But we really defending wise. I think we did decent. They really didn't have that many shots that troubled Clark. I don't think, besides the ones that were just well worked, and that's just the extra man down. It's harder to stop an attack. But I think there are some signs. I really couldn't give any insight on our offensive perspective, just because we didn't really show too much offense. Our 2 shots, neither were on target. It's hard to say how we're gonna play with 10 men on the field.
Yeah,
but
it pretty much seemed we were trying to basically limit the damage, go play for the draw, organize the defense, and they did pretty well, as you said, up until that 55th minute, where and really you got to give credit to Dallas in that situation. That was a very, very well worked goal. Musa, he slotted it in perfectly after the build-up play, but the Dynamo still had their opportunity to salvage something from the game. There was still a lot of time left to attempt to bring to get a point. However, again, it was just I think it was a bridge too far playing 10 men for that length of time, and Ibiaga at the 80th minute basically put him to the sword. So that was the end of it. So basically the end of it. There were still 10 minutes plus stoppage time to go, but there no realistic possibility of getting anything out of the match at that point in time. But to your point, I think the defense played as well as I won't say as well as, they played well for the amount of time that they were short a man. So kudos to the Dynamo on that side. But bummer, neither of our predictions came true again. So we're not doing very well lately, and the Dynamo are on a serious slide after really starting the season very promising, down to 8th in the table, and we've got St. Louis coming up now, who are right below us in the Western Conference standings. So it's about time to get this ship turned around. But we did have a debutant for this match, the coming in at striker for Kowalczyk. You want to talk a little bit about him?
Yeah, McKenzie came in. Really didn't get to see too much, like I said, since they're offensively, but I think it's good that he got subbed on. It gives us more options, because when I went and saw us play Austin at Shell, Kowalczyk, he plays with a lot of passion, which I love, but I can definitely see how he can get a little winded. Like, I don't know if he'd be able to play with that much energy the full 90 minutes. So I think it's good to have a second option be able to come in. So we'll see more of that to come in the future. But going back to what you said, I agree. I think our form is definitely dropping a little bit. In April, we are 1-3. So we finished off this month with only 3 points. Little worrisome, but we can always bounce back this next month. And against St. Louis, with a fresh squad, turn things around, I think we can make some things happen.
Well, I think we have no choice. We better get started now.
Yeah.
Well, that was again very disappointing from a Dynamo perspective, especially against an opponent we basically dominated for the last 5 to 6 matches, as well as one who was coming in such poor form to begin with. They had lost 7, hadn't won a match since January, I believe, and for us to provide the means for them to get healthy in a derby, not the greatest way to end a week, if you will. But we get to start this week with St. Louis coming up. So what do you think? You got a prediction on that one?
I'm going to go 2-1 Dynamo. As long as we keep it 11-on-11. If we go another man down, we've got to see. But I think we'll have a good game this week. I think we're going to turn things around, because that's such a big game against Dallas. It's a big rivalry game, and when you're playing like with the circumstances of the 10-on-11, it's hard. And I feel like the damage control, we did pretty solid, but now it's time for us to really put the pressure on other teams and really go out and score. So I think we'll win 2-1.
2-1. Well, I think I'm going a little bit more conservative. I think we've got to get back into we want to get towards winning ways, but I'm looking at this one as just getting back into the positive, meaning securing something from the match. So I am going to go a 1-1 draw with Dynamo versus St. Louis. So we'll get a point. I'm thinking we definitely need to at least get the point. And I'll take the 3 if the win comes, but I'm predicting 1-1.
Yeah, I can see that. We do need to get something back. We need to get just back on track a little bit. 1 point's good if we always shoot for 3, but never want to drop a game. But we had another derby this weekend, the London Derby.
North London. Well,
yeah.
Hey, well, there's something I get now. You see him smiling again all of a sudden, right? The Arsenal defeated the arch rival Tottenham Hotspurs. So a very chippy game. But it was one that the Arsenal ultimately prevailed in, keeps us in the title hunt at the top of the table. But Manchester City has a game in hand, and so they know how to close out a season. So now we're just going to see how Arsenal does in these last three matches of the Premier League season, and four for Man City, obviously. But if we do our stuff, and if City drops points in at least one of these matches, we'll have the championship. So it's all we can do is keep winning. But I will say, your Bayern Munich, have suddenly found form after defeating Arsenal in the Champions League, and you've got another big match against Real Madrid coming up midweek this week.
Yeah, tomorrow. Real Madrid's always has been great in the Champions League, but so have we. I do think we have more experience. I know Real Madrid's better players are younger, but they're also Real Madrid. They're great. We are playing in Munich the first leg, so I'm really hoping we win by at least win at least, but hopefully by more than one goal to put the pressure on them, because I know how nerve-wracking it is going into their stadium. They have some really crazy fans, and it's not the atmosphere you want to play in, especially behind or even at a tie. So I'm confident, but I definitely know the situation. What could happen? Yeah.
a little apprehensive. That's going to be a good one, though. I mean, it's kind of strength on strength, and Real with Bellingham and Vinicius Jr. They're great on the attack. But as you said, Bayern Munich, this is their realm as well. The Champions League, they have more experience than anyone, and they know how to navigate through these final stages. So I think you guys have as good a chance as anybody to reach that final. So it's all of just get a point or get an away goal.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see. I'm excited though. We have a lot of good football coming up.
It's getting to that the business end of the season, as they say. So for the European leagues, and so with Champions League as well, and the European leagues, all of the seasons coming to a close. So you absolutely, while in the meantime, MLS is heating up. So we get the best of both worlds, I think, over here, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I think with that, we're going to hope for a Dynamo win against St. Louis coming up this weekend. We've got our predictions in, and let's get something out of this. So now is the time for resiliency. Now is the time for falling back on your plan and the foundations that you set, and making tweaks to that, and hopefully gains coming in at basically supporting that striker position will give us the boost we need, Herrera being back, and the Dynamo can get things back on track. But we won't know until the weekend. So
yeah. Well, until next time, right?
Until next time, I think we would like to remind all of our viewers to, check.
Like, follow, subscribe. We'll have another one of these out next week.
Yep. All right. So you guys stay tuned. We'll all be looking forward to how the Dynamo do this coming up weekend. Check in with us on the social media platforms. Let us know what your thoughts are on the match, and if you saw something different than we did, or any comments you want to share. So let us know how you're feeling about the Dynamo. Let us know anything. We talk a lot of sports around ITQ, so Kai and I can engage in anything, but we'd really like to know how you all think about what's going on with the Houston Dynamo. And with that, Kai, I think we will adjourn until next week, and hopefully we'll be talking about a Dynamo victory.
I agree. Well, great talking with you, Danny.
Likewise, Kai, as usual. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We'll see you next week.